On our tune-up today, so let's start with number, which one do you want to start with? Gabe?
Let's start with number 1.
Okay, number 1. We've got -9 minus 17. So what's the first thing we're going to do, Emma?
Subtract, right?
Subtract. Gabe?
Right by the rule. First, you keep the side of the figure, then you subtract.
If we're subtracting numbers, what we want to do if we have two negative, if we're subtracting, we want to take -9 minus -17 is how that reads. So, does that help with what you need, the first step you need to do?
Oh yeah, and then you have to like change the subtracting thing into a plus. Like a
Okay,
thing.
so I'm going to change this to plus.
And then you do the same thing to the side.
Okay, and now what am I going to do, Gabe?
Now you're going to add.
So now I'm going to take 17 minus 9, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're adding?
Yeah.
And what's our answer going to be?
2.
2? Let's look at that again.
12.
Emma? 17 minus 9.
8.
What's 17 minus 10?
17 minus 10. 7.
7. And then we have to do what? Because we have 9 there.
Add 1. So
Add 1? Or add 1 or subtract 1?
subtract 1.
Okay, so it would be?
6.
See how we did that, Emma? You take the 9 and you round it to 10. Because you can do 17 minus 10 real quick, right? And then you're just going to subtract another one after you get the answer. Okay, let's move on to, you want to go in order today? You want to do number 2? We have 9/25, 4/10, and 7/20. What's the first thing we need to do to solve this problem? We're going to order from least to greatest.
Find a common denominator.
Find a common denominator. Gabe, do you see a common denominator there?
100.
100? Okay, so what are we going to do to 25? To get 100.
Yeah. You multiply it by 4, so you have to do the same for 9.
Right.
It's 36.
36. Okay, Emma, 10 times what equals 100? Going blank. Gabe, help her out.
10 times 10 equals 100.
Okay, good job. So, Emma, we're going to do what to the 4?
Times it by 10.
Okay, so 10 times 4?
40.
Good. Okay, and 20. What are we going to multiply 20 by to get 100, Emma?
50.
What would 2 times what would equal 10?
5.
Okay, and then what do you do? If you're multiplying by 10s, you can add a 0. So, what are we going to do to the 7?
Times by 5.
Okay, 5 times 7, Emma?
35.
35. Okay, so how are we going to order these?
35 is the least.
Okay, and how does your math teacher, how does Farron want you to write it down?
7/20.
Right, he wants you to go back to the original number. So we'd have 7/20. Which way is less than? Gabe?
This one then is that way.
Like this?
No, the other way.
Okay. And then what's the next number? 9/25 or 4/10?
9/25.
Less than 4/10. Okay, good job. Everybody got that? Okay, let's go to, we're going to add -7/16 and 7 9/78. minus negative 741.33. So what are we going to do when we subtract two decimals? Gabe, can you look up here? What's the first thing? We're going to subtract two decimals. So subtracting decimals, do we need to look at our integers here?
I think so.
Oops, my mistake, it's add. We're adding two negatives. What's the answer going to be?
A negative.
So what's the first thing we need to do to solve this, Emma?
You have to make the second number an addition.
No, it was my mistake. It's actually an adding problem, so we're not going to switch. But we have
Oh, you have to add
Point
a
30.
0.
add a 0. Okay, so 8 minus 0 is Gabe, 7 minus 3.
4.
9 minus 3, Emma.
7.
Try again.
6.
And then what do I do with the decimal if I'm adding or subtracting?
You have to line it up.
Line it up, right? What would I do if I were multiplying with a
Move it
decimal?
Over. Move it over how many spaces, how many numbers are behind it.
Good. 6 minus 1, Gabe.
6 minus 1. 5.
Am I doing this right?
Yep.
I'm adding two negative numbers. So I'm subtracting, is that right?
No.
No. What am I doing wrong, Emma?
You have to add them.
Right, because when we have two negative numbers and we're adding, the answer is negative. So 8 plus 0,
8,
7 plus 3,
10,
Gabe. 9 plus 3 plus 1.
13.
And I'm going to bring my decimal point down. 6 plus 2, Emma. Okay. And 4 plus 1, Gabe.
4 plus 1. 5.
And 7 plus 7.
14.
There we go. Did you get the same answer? And the answer is negative. Okay, and let's go down to number 5. We've got 17 and 1/10 minus 11 and 2/20. So what's the first thing we need to do when we're subtracting fractions?
Reduce.
Reduce. Okay, so what are we going to reduce, Gabe?
1/20th to 1/10. I do 2/20th to 1/10.
Okay, because 2 goes into 2, 1, and 2 goes into 20. Okay, now what are we going to do, Emma?
Do the same to
I like to move my problems this way to solve them, but that's optional. 1 minus 1/10 minus 1/10, Gabe?
0.
Okay. 6 minus 1, Emma? Or 7 minus 1? 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, there's another way that this could be done. One method is we reduce the fraction. What's another way that we could solve this problem?
You can double 1/10 to 2/20th.
Right. And how would you do that, Gabe?
Basically, you multiply it by 2.
Okay. So the other would have been 17 and 2/20 minus 11 and 2/20. 2/20 minus 2/20 is
So,
7 minus 1 is 6, and we'd get the same answer, right? Okay. Okay. Any questions on today's tune-up? Nope. All right, if you'd like to grab your stuff and head back to class, that would be great.